Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be discussing about closures in JavaScript. So closures is a very important concept in JavaScript. So in this video, we'll be discussing how closures are there in JavaScript and how we can use it in practical use case also. So this is a very important concept. So let's see how it works. So here I have a index.html file and a script.js file attached with it. So what I'm going to do is I am basically going to write a function. First I'll write and then I'll explain what I'm writing. So I'll write a init function, init, and here I'm going to basically create a variable inside it. So I'll say name. My name is Saksham. And what I'm going to do is I'm just creating a function inside this function. So any function inside this function can access this name also, name variable, because of lexical scopes. So it comes under scope. So we can basically create one more function. That function will be greet. So what will happen is we can just log my name there. We can say name. This thing we can do. Okay. And I'm going to return greet and then we can call it. So let's suppose we call init. Here you see what I've done is I've created a parent function and inside it a child function with parent function with a variable name, and I'm printing that name inside child function. So basically this forms a closure inside it. So now let's see what is the output first. So it will print my name. Here you see it prints my name, that is Saksham. And now let's understand how a closure works. Before that, what I'll do is I'm going to remove this and see what will happen. So once I remove this, I don't call it. So nothing will print. You see, nothing is printed. Now with this init function, we can basically hold this, the scope of this variable to us till like any point of time. Like we can use it on any point of time. So what I'm going to do is I will going to create a whole variable and hold this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to now use it. Let's suppose I'll use it 2 times. So now you see it'll print my name 2 times. So it is by this way you can see like this is a room. Let's suppose our init function, it is a big room. So our init function is a big room and we have a lot of things like this is one of the thing that we have, and we don't want to leave it in the room. We want to carry it. So closures are just like a backpack. So this thing acted as a backpack to us, by which way we can carry this variable with us till any point of time. Like now, whenever I want, I can use this variable because this internal function has the scope of that and I am returning it. So this is how closures are there. Now let's see what are the real use case of closures by making something with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new function. I'm going to create a new function. So let's create a new function. I'll create make adder function. So this I'm referring from a document on Mozilla. I'll show you afterwards. Here I'm taking a parameter which is x, and first I'll write and then I'll explain what I'm writing. Let me complete it fast. So here I'm taking another internal function inside it and I'm going to return x plus y. Yeah. So what we are doing right now is we have a external function, then we have an internal function, and then we return x plus y. So what we can do now is we can just make adders of our choice. So I'll make an adder of add 10, which will add every time 10 to whatever value we passed. And I'll say make adder, and here I'm passing 10. So basically what I have now is in this function there is x and we have the reference of it here. So what I can do is I have reference of x till here, and now whatever I'll pass to this will go here and make a adder. So let's see in action like how does it work. I'll do console.log. I'm going to do add 10. Not add 10, and then I'm going to pass 5 in it. So whatever I have passed in here, sorry, whatever I'll pass in this at 10 will get added to 10. Why? Because the value of x for, let's suppose, add 10, make adder, like add 10 function will be what? It will be x equals to 10, and this value will be always be 10 for now. Like this will be like this, and whenever I'll send 5 or something to it, it will just add it. So let's see it in action. So it will print 15. It should print 15. Here you see it prints 15. And like this, I can make multiple adders. Let's suppose I want to add 5 each time. Make adder 5. This will always add 5 to my past number. You see, it is 10. So this was one of the example of closures. Now we'll see one more example, which is much more practical than these ones. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a sizer kind of thing. This is also, I guess, present in Mozilla Docs. You guys can always refer to Mozilla Docs. These are one of the best documentation available for like JavaScript. So yeah, let's do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a p tag, and I'm going to say again my name Saksham. I'm going to give this a ID. This is part of DOM. We can do name, let's suppose, and then we can do we can create a button. Okay, and again we can give it a ID called btn, and we can say size 10, or we can do something like this only, size 10. Then again we can say size 15, size 20, 15, 20. Here we go. And what we can go do is we can go to our JavaScript to make sure we can have a good size on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first okay, well, let's create a function only directly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do function make like function make size, something like this. Here I'll have to let's create first this. Yeah, so here I have to first I'll first create the internal function, which will be like function, and I'll do something like this, and I'll have to do document dot body dot style dot font size. We have to increase the font size, which will be what? Which will be size in pixels. So which will be something we have to use a literal, I guess, dollar size, and then we can pass pixel. Yeah. So this will be our make sizer function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create different size. Const size. I don't know what sizes I gave. Size 10 equals to make size. And here I am going to give 10 only, because this will Control C, Control V, Control O, Control D. Yeah. Size 15, and I guess last one was size 20. 15, 20. So now I have to attach actually these to my buttons. So what was the idea of my buttons? I think they were same. Size 10 is okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do document dot get element by ID, and I'm going to name it size 10. Then I'm going to on click of these buttons, I'm going to give the size like this, directly size 10. So what will happen whenever you on click this, it will run. So we just have to pass a reference in on clicks, this will run, and this will basically increase the size. Similarly, I'll do for all those. So whenever ID is, let's suppose 15, let's suppose 20, 15, 20. Here we go. Now here you see we are getting size is not defined. Okay, reference error, size is not defined. Okay, I guess we are getting this because we are passing size here and we are not passing size which we are taking. So let's suppose, yeah, here you have to pass size. Now size 10 is this, size 15 is this, size 20 is this. Here you see. So this is one of the practical examples of how closures can be used. So yeah, that's it. It was a video about closures. In next video, we'll discuss something else.